Welcome back, dear viewers. You're still watching Nile Cruise on Nile TV, and from one of the most important places all over the world, the Grand Egyptian Museum, which is due to be inaugurated at the end of the 2020, hopefully. Dear viewers, it's worth to mention that today marks a very special day, a very special episode of Nile Cruise, because I feel I'm really a proud Egyptian to be in such an amazing, wonderful place that marks Egyptian history. And in this context, dear viewers, we have with us today a very special guest. We have with us Heba Khairy, and Heba Khairy is an archeologist, and she's going to be joining us today's episode, and she's going to be telling us more about this very special place, which will be one of the most important places all over the world. Dear viewers, a very good day, Heba, and it's a pleasure to have you with us in today's episode of Nile Cruise.
Thank you, and welcome to the Grand Egyptian Museum.
Heba, thank you for being with us. We are indeed, as Rana said, in a place that will be and is one of the most important in the world, basically because it holds Egyptian treasures, Egyptian monuments, the richest country in the world with heritage, with monuments, with treasures. So I want to ask you, Heba, about the archaeological importance and significance of Gem.
Yes, okay.
The Grand Egyptian Museum,
yes,
of course.
yes, yeah. Sure. At first, we have to know that the Grand Egyptian Museum is not just a museum. It will be the largest cultural complex all over the world that dedicated for a single civilization, the ancient Egyptian civilization. So the museum will display the ancient Egyptian heritage and history and its glamorous from the prehistory period to the Greco-Roman periods. So, which means that the museum itself, inside the building or inside the project itself, it will include a lot of another educational and institutional cultural spaces. So the museum will include the galleries, Tutankhamun Gallery, and the main galleries, about 12 galleries, the Grand Staircase Gallery, which will exhibit a huge monuments, architectural elements, and royal statues for the ancient Egyptian kings. The museum itself, it will include a learning center, educational center, children museum, and handicraft center, conference center, restaurants, cafe, and gardens and recreation spaces, which means that the museum will not be just a museum. It will connect the different cultures together. It will be a focal point which connects the past with the present and the future. As a result, the museum will be a must-visit destination for Egyptologists, scientists, and specialists, and as well tourists from all over the globe. The museum will preserve and conserve and display and interpret the ancient Egyptian history and its treasures in a very modern way, using the latest updated methods of technologies. So which means that all the visitors will come and have a very exceptional experience with the Grand Egyptian Museum.
Indeed.
Heba, what are the archaeological treasures in this museum?
Where are?
What are the archaeological treasures in the museum?
For sure, the most important or famous collection that the Grand Egyptian Museum will exhibit is the complete collection of King Tutankhamun. So it will exhibit about or more than 5,400 pieces of artifacts. Some of them will be displayed for the first time at the Grand Egyptian Museum. As well, it will exhibit a very important collection that reflect the glamorous history of the ancient Egyptian civilization, history, beliefs, and daily lifestyles in the main galleries. So we have the collection of Queen Hatshepsut, the mother of King Khufu. We have Tal el-Farkha collection. As well, we have a very special two royal statues from the Ptolemaic period. And a collection of steles that related to the Middle Kingdom period.
Heba, the Antiquities authorities revealed recently the details of the 30 ancient wooden coffins that were recently discovered in Luxor.
Yes.
The discovery is being described as one of the biggest and most important in recent years. Could you shed light for us on this, please?
Yes, sure. Recently, the Ministry of Antiquities discovered the Al-Asasif cachet. It includes about 30 coffins, well preserved and well colored, very beautiful coffins. And GEM is honored that it will be display or host the whole collection of these beautiful coffins. GEM dedicated a special gallery for Al-Asasif cachet. It will display the 30 coffins in a very special way that simulate the real environment of the cachet and its discovery. So as soon as the visitor will enter to the gallery, he will feel that he is the first discoverer of Al-Asasif cachet. Yes.
Heba, what about the role of media when it comes to the Grand Egyptian Museum, of course? And why don't we have more TV production located in historic sites?
At this level of or phase of the Grand Egyptian Museum project, I believe that media has a very important and critical role that can play for GEM. So the media can well promote it for GEM all over the world. It will increase the curiosity about GEM for the public, so it will make them, eager to come and visit the Grand Egyptian Museum. As well, it will play a very important role for the promotion for the Egyptian civilization through the Grand Egyptian Museum project, raising the awareness of the public nationally and internationally about the importance not only for the Grand Egyptian Museum project as a hub for safeguarding the Egyptian history and heritage, but as well the role of Egypt or the role of the Egypt in promoting cultural and connecting cultures together all over the world in one place is the Grand Egyptian Museum.
Right.
Mohammed, can I ask Heba
yes,
a
please,
question, please?
please?
Heba, without mentioning names, of course, did any international channel come and make a report about the Grand Museum, or it's not yet allowed?
No, daily. daily
they do come.
Yes, yes, sure.
So
yes.
there's already coverage about the Grand Egyptian
Yes, and we
Museum
always welcome. We are welcoming.
when it's under construction.
Yes, sure. I'll welcome medias from all over the world to come and show the significance of the Grand Egyptian Museum project. Sure.
Heba, the Ramses II statue is here. Now I want to know, will we transport everything from the Tahrir Museum to here? What will happen to Tahrir? Because this is a beautiful museum as well. So
Yes,
make things clear for us, please.
Yes, we have to know something that the Cairo Egyptian Museum is international school of Egyptology all over the world.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
it has archaeological significance in itself, so we cannot, do this with the Cairo Egyptian Museum. You have to know something that the collection of the Grand Egyptian Museum is not only transported from the Cairo Egyptian Museum. The Grand Egyptian Museum collection came from storerooms and museums all over Egypt. So we took the whole collection of King Tutankhamun from Cairo Egyptian Museum to be displayed in its own gallery in GEM, and we took another artifacts that not well make any discussion with the Cairo Egyptian Museum role in Egyptology and Egyptian history.
No, so you're making it clear for us that the Tahrir Museum will remain in place with
yes,
all its
it will stay
with much of its treasures.
Yes, sure, it will stay. It will play its very important and significant role.
They complement each
as
other. It's not one at the
museum.
expense of the other, right?
GEM and the Cairo Egyptian Museum will complete themselves. Okay, they already
Beautiful.
connected in
Beautiful.
a lot of things.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Heba, to my knowledge, there are many historical Egyptian pieces which are in store. They're not on display yet. Where are these pieces now?
Okay, we have the Grand Egyptian Museum Conservation Center, a separate building attached to the Grand Egyptian Museum project. The Conservation Center is already contain about 6 huge storerooms where we keep and preserve our collection. Yes.
Continue.
Okay, so the Grand Egyptian Museum Conservation Center, I would like to give you a hint about this conservation center.
Yeah, please.
The GMCC is the largest conservation center all over the world. that is attached to archaeological museum. So the JMCC already containing laboratories, okay, and the storerooms, about 60 huge storerooms to preserve and safeguard our collection in a scientific and you know, proper ways for keeping and saving our collection. Okay, is a Grand Egyptian Museum Conservation Center already have many labs for conserving and for curing the collection using the latest updated method or scientific method in conserving the artifacts or the pieces. Yeah.
Right.
Muhammad, Heba, I was discussing with a touristic expert the concept of when when the tourists come and visit the Grand Egyptian Museum. He said that it takes around a month to witness every single piece that will be displayed in this amazing place.
Yes.
It might make sense what he's saying, but at the same time there's no tourist that's going to come to Egypt and spend an entire month to only see the Grand Egyptian Museum.
Yes.
So
sure.
I mentioned that, do you think it can take 3 days? He said yes, it's a maximum of 3 days.
Yes.
Can you give me exact timing, how long it's going to take a tourist to come and visit this amazing place and leave?
Okay, GEM is a very huge building, as you can see, okay, and as well the galleries inside the museum is very huge. So we made, as you know, a different kind of visit circulation for different kind of visitors. So maybe one visitor will come and have only 1 hour to visit the museum. So we made a circulation for 1 hour for special places and special artifacts in the museum that he can see and get the whole idea about the Egyptian civilization through this 1 hour and through these special artifacts. Then we have another circulation for visit, which is a 3 hours visit. So the visitor have a 3 hours, so I can visit the Tutankhamun gallery and I can visit the store object of the main galleries, and I can see as well the grand staircase gallery. So the whole museum, if the visitor need to see every single piece and every single detail of the galleries and the Grand Egyptian Museum, he may take us 3 days.
Thank you very much, Heba Khairy, archaeologist. It's been a pleasure. It's been very informative. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Dear viewers, stay with us. We have much coming up here on Nile Cruise. Don't go away. We'll be back again.